Today, we're focusing on the first chakra, Muladhara, which literally translates to root. It's located at the base of the spine, and you can visualize it throughout your practice as a ball of red glowing energy, or like the molten lava you'd find at the center of the earth. The most important thing to know is that the root chakra represents the element of survival. We can't blossom into our best selves and journey up through the rest of the chakras unless our basic needs, food, shelter, water, safety, are already met. This chakra represents your security, your stability, and it's represented by the earth element. Make sure you're signed up to receive the podcast in which I go deep on the energetics of this chakra and how you can utilize the first chakra to deepen your awareness and improve your life. Take a moment now to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Let's begin. Come on to all fours. Just stack your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. We're going to do cat-cow, but we're going to bring all our attention to the area of the groin, to the bottom of the spine. So connecting with the breath right away. As you breathe in, I want you to curl your toes under, pull the navel in as you arch across the upper chest, but I want you to really bring your attention, instead of up here, back there. So you're widening your groin behind you. So just think of your inner thighs spiraling to the ceiling. You're widening the groin back. Good, and then as you exhale, curl your tailbone forward like a little hook. Draw the navel up and in, chin to chest. And we'll do 3 more like this on your own. So take a deep inhale, curl the toes under. Really bringing your attention to that red ball of light, bottom of the spine, widening the groin back. And then from that widening, you can hook, curl the tailbone under, draw the abs up and in, let the head release. So think of initiating this movement from the bottom of your pelvis, from the groin. Breathing in. Slowing down. Breathing out. Last one. Fingers are spread apart. You're really rooting into the ground. You're visualizing that neon red lava ball of light at the bottom of the spine. Moving on your own breath. Good. Inhale, come on into your up cat. Keep your mind's eye on that neon lava ball of light. Good. And then take your feet a little wide for me. So toes are on the mat. Pinky toes are on the wood. Big toes mat, pinky toes wood. We're just going to press back into a super wide downward facing dog. So no rush. Find your breath here. So spread all the fingers as far apart as possible. Breathe in on the whole spine. So you're inhaling. Tailbone to crown of head. Exhaling. Crown of head to tailbone. 2 more like that. Inhaling. Exhaling all the way. So it should feel like you're doing handstand in the upper body, and having the legs wide like this in our down dog just allows us to feel this kind of opening, this inner spiral of the legs a little bit more. So I want you to really think here of your inner thighs rotating towards the ceiling. Good. Widen your groin muscles back in space. So it's like you're widening your pubic bone back in space, if that makes any sense. And then press your torso towards your thighs. Just send your attention down to the bottom of the spine. Slow the breath down. Again, 3 counts in. 3 counts out. And 3 counts in. And this time as you breathe out, keep the groin nice and wide, but just bring the feet back to a regular downward facing dog stance so the feet are no longer hip width apart. And maybe kind of melt into the legs, sort of scissor the roll on the balls of your feet from side to side. If you can kind of see how I'm doing that, just kind of let yourself really ground into the earth, activating all the little sensory nerves at the bottom of the feet, the sole of the feet. Good. And then we'll inhale, we'll take the right leg high to the sky. Make some circles with the ankle here. So make sure that right shoulder stays square to the mat. Just circle the ankle. Big circles. Lots of energy through the leg. Good. And then reverse the circles. Just bringing our awareness down to our legs, our roots that root into the earth. Good. And then exhale, knee to nose, drop forward, shoulders over wrists, no rush. Inhale, up and back. And then exhale, set the foot between the palms for a runner's lunge. Just notice how the foot feels maybe a little different after doing the ankle circles. And then press the left heel back in space. If you have blocks, total pleasure to use them here. If you don't, no worries. Wherever you are, I want you to just glide the shoulders down and back. From your heel to the crown of the head, get long. And just find your breath here. Good. See if you can notice if your pelvis is maybe close to the mat, like too close to the earth, or if you're way up here, too far away from the earth. We're kind of trying to rebalance that first chakra, earth energy, so you want to be right in the center, that magic place. Squeeze your hips towards one another. Good. And then from here, you can just practice what we just did in up cat, down cat. I want you to actually lift your hips just a tiny bit, arch your back, widen the groin back. And then as you exhale, curl your tailbone underneath you, draw your abs up and in, and it's a little rounding forward, and then shoot your heart forward. And we'll do that 2 more times. It's really subtle. You're going to inhale, open, fan your groin back behind you, if that makes sense. Good. And then exhale, curl the tailbone under, really subtle. So if you don't feel it right away, don't worry. Last breath. Otherwise, you can just hold the runner's lunge. Widening back, and then really curl the tailbone forward. Feel the abs pull in, heart forward. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Set the blocks aside. If you're using them, you're just going to gently step to the top of the mat. Make sure the feet are hip width apart. Inhale, half lift. Press the hands on the shins, get long. Exhale, slide your hands down the backs of the calves, melt forward. Good. Inhale, half lift, get long. And exhale, fold. Good. This time, keep the hands on the backs of the calves. I want you to spread all 10 toes far apart from one another, and then root down through your feet a lot. Now begin to press your thigh bones back in space. It's okay if the knees are bent, with the hands staying on the calves. And as you press your thigh bones back in space, you'll notice my knees are bent. That's okay. I'm getting to feel this fanning back, this opening at the bottom of the spine, bottom of the pelvis, opening in the sacrum, the low back. So you're just innerly rotating your thighs. You're pressing your hands into your calves, and just see if you can feel your sits bones widening back. Good. Last breath. Good. And then from here, curl your tailbone forward. Find your flat back, really curl the tailbone forward. Should feel a zippering up through the legs. And then this time as you exhale, fold, keep curling the tailbone forward. Draw the abs up and in, and see if you can fold forward a little deeper from a new place. Maybe the legs feel more rooted, more pulled up into their sockets. Good. And then inhale, circle the arms down, around, and up. So just have fun with it. Exhale, press the air away. Good. Inhale, circle the arms down, around, and up. Reach up, look up. Exhale, super slow swan dive forward. So once again, think of fanning the sits bones back, widening the sits bones back more than we would in a regular practice for our first chakra focus. And then inhale, half lift, curl the tailbone forward, pull the abs in to find that nice long spine. And then exhale, step it back to plank pose. Press your inner and outer heel back, glide the shoulders back, and then pull the abs up and in. Once again, notice if the low back is arched. See if you can find that curling of the tailbone forward. We're here for 3. For 2, heel to crown of head, get long. Last one, you got it. Good, and then exhale, knees, chest, chin, all the way to the floor. From here, take the hands wide on either side of the mat on the wood. Curl your tailbone forward once again, and let that press you up into a small cobra. Good. So this can be as large or as small as you want. Just take a huge deep breath in. And as you breathe out, think of curling your tailbone forward. So you're pressing your hips more into the mat. Good. Breathe in. Staying in this cobra, big or small, wherever you are. Press your hips into the mat, curl your tailbone forward. Last time. So we're taking the attention away from the upper body and we're bringing it completely to the low body, the pelvis, the sacrum. Good. Last breath. Nice. And then pull your abs in. Super slow, controlled descent down. Take the hands underneath the shoulders. Curl the toes under. Press back. Downward facing dog. Recapture your breath here. Visualize that red ball of light, that lava at the base of the spine. Maybe inhaling it up to the crown of the head, just feeling that channel of energy. We're going to ignite that whole line, tail to crown of head, and we're starting at the bottom. And then exhale, crown of head to tailbone. Lift your left leg high to the sky. Make some circles with the ankle, just roll it out. Notice if that left shoulder's popped up, draw it down, shoulders are square to the mat. Point the toes if you can, and then take the circles in opposite directions. Good. Exhale as you're ready, knee to nose, no rush, shoulders over wrists. You come all the way into your plank. Inhale up and back. Exhale, this time step the left foot between the hands for your runner's lunge. Good. Maybe move the right foot back in space a little so you're really setting up in a nice long stance. Good. And then find your blocks if you want to come into this runner's lunge. So on a retreat I just taught, I was really talking to people about how you really need to melt into your stance, right? Like where you just land isn't always the right place. First chakra, you can think of your mat like red clay, like a clay bath. So just really kind of melt in, like in your down dog, or if you look at my back foot, I'm kind of scissoring in. And then from that place, we can find our breath again. So inhale, press the heel back, crown of head forward. Exhale all the way, glide the shoulders back, make sure the jaw's relaxed. And then play with where your hips are in space. So inhale, you can lift the hips a little bit, widen the sits bones back, so exaggerate that movement. And then as you exhale, curl your tailbone forward. It's like I was punched in the stomach, right? Curl the tailbone forward to come forward, draw the abs up and in. So it's subtle, just play with it. You know, level one, you can always just hold your runner's lunge. 2 more, inhaling, widening the sits bones back. From that space, curl the tailbone forward, draw your abs in, melt deeper. Good, it's like you're melting, molding with the earth. Inhale. And exhale, curl it forward. Solid breath here. Inhaling, heel to crown of head, maybe close the eyes, get tall. Exhale all the way. Last breath. Exhale completely. Step to the top of the mat. Make sure your feet are hip width apart. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. This time you have 2 options. So level 1, you can just hold opposite elbows and sway. Level 2, 3, I want you to hold on to your big toes with your peace fingers and yogi toe lock. So inhale, get long. And exhale, fold. You can bend the elbows out to the left and right of the room. Breathe in, half lift, get long. Exhale, widen the elbows to the left and right of the room. Once again, wherever you are, think of pulling up through your legs, an inner rotation of your thighs, widening the sits bones back. Good. Last breath. Nice. And then from the base, I want you to really now feel into your feet. You can release the toes if you have them. Feel a tripod in your feet. So feel big toe, pinky toe, and heel, this powerful pyramid of the feet rooting down. And if you can touch your feet, you can actually press into the feet, make that connection, really ground them down with your own hands. Good, and then micro bend the knees. We're gonna stack our chakras one on top of the other. So think of that red ball of fire at the base of the spine. Good, and then slowly stacking vertebra on vertebra. No rush, so you're rounding up, head is last thing to come up, round through your low back, mid back, upper back. If you need to look at me, you can always just start over, go back down and meet me up here. And then spin the palms to the left and right of the room. Anchor down through your pelvis. So feel that tailbone lengthen towards your heel. So notice if you're here, see if you can be more here. You can even use your hands like I just did if that helps. Good. And then this time we'll bring our toes to touch, heels apart. Inhale, sink low, chair pose. Once again, curl the tailbone forward. Notice if your low back is super arched. Pull it in. Squeeze your hips towards one another. We're sinking low for 3. Fire up your breathing. 2. Weight is in the heels. Last breath. Just planting your roots. Visualize like tree rooting into earth. And then we'll come up to stand, but pull the left knee with you. So take the left knee with you up. Press the knee into the hand and the hand into the knee. Get taller. Good. And then we're taking tree pose. Big surprise. I want you to take the left foot to the inner groin, or level 1, 2, you can take the foot to the ankle and even rest it on the floor. So if you're practicing your balance, you can just be here. If you have a good handle on your balance already, be up here. And then wherever you are, you can close your eyes. That's more challenging. Otherwise, just pick a spot to gaze at the front of the room and send your attention there. Press your foot into your thigh and your thigh into your foot. So you have this dynamic opposition of everything hugging into your midline. Good. Last breath. You can lift the arms if that's fun for you. Good. And then we'll come back to pull the knee into the chest. So pull it in, don't let it go. We're going to exhale, step back to a high lunge. So just come into your high lunge. And once again, really melt into the clay of the earth here. So just don't settle for where your back foot lands. I want you to really wiggle it and get it, really far away from you so you can find that front shin parallel to the floor, right? So don't just be where you land. Mold it back, melt into the clay of the earth. And then inhale. And as you exhale, I want you to clasp your hands, make a fist. From here, I want you to lean forward and find that 45-degree line we just did in the runner's lunge, maybe more challenging this time, right? So scissor the inner thighs together, squeeze your hips together, feel heel to crown of head, this long line of energy. Just think lava, molten lava up and down the spine. Visualize the color red. We're here for 3, for 2. Good. Curl your tailbone forward, even here. Last one. And then exhale, hands frame the foot. Listen carefully. Step the left foot back up to meet the right. Inhale, half lift. And this time I want you to heel toe your feet apart from one another. So heels are on the mat, toes are on the wood, and sink low into your squat pose. So level 1, 2, you might just be up here, or you might be using a block underneath the seat, right? No problem. Those of you that have been practicing a long time, feel free to come all the way down. Visualize red clay here around your ankles. And then same thing here. I want you to imagine, even if it's just so subtle, this widening of the sits bones back in space. So relax your sacrum, your low back. Feel the groins just opening down into the earth as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, resist that. Curl the tailbone forward. Elbows pressing into the inner thighs. Thighs pressing into the elbows. Last breath. Visualizing red all over. Good. And then take the hands underneath the shoulders. Step the left foot back in space. So you're going to be in an open, wide lunge. Take the left hand wide, right hand to your inner thigh, and spin your heart towards the ceiling. Spin the right thigh towards the sky. And then option to open the right hand to the sky. Keep that back left leg stick straight. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And if the red clay visualization isn't working for you, you could also imagine doing this pose in the mud, right? So just feel like super connected to the earth, that muddy sensation of just melting into it. And then play here again with the same thing we did in the runner's lunge. Open the sits bones back a little bit, maybe stick the seat up. And then draw your abs in, curl your tailbone forward, and spin more. So the heart is more towards the ceiling than before. You could play with that one more time. This opening, widening of the sits bones back. And then exhale, curl the tailbone forward. See if you can spin the chest open even more from that place. Last breath, let the upper body fall back. Good, and then exhale, take the hands underneath the shoulders. From here, I want you to walk your hands to the center of the mat. You're gonna let that front right foot turn in, so we're in a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, get long. Good. Exhale, melt forward. One more time. Inhale, find length. And exhale, melt. So building from your foundation here, press the big toe and little toe side of the foot and the heel really into the floor. So feel that pyramid supporting you on either foot. And then pull up through the arches of your feet so you feel the legs scissor up and engage. So those little roots that you have connecting down with the earth are crazy active. From here, take your hands on your hips. Inhale, find a flat back, so your spine's parallel to the floor. Inhale, get long, tailbone to crown of head. Exhale completely. Good, and then inhale, come all the way up. Perfect. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Just visualizing a huge ball of red energy, red light, below the spine, around the pelvis. Good. From here, I want you to turn your right toes forward. Good. Bend into the front right knee and come into warrior two. Nice. So really, again, challenge yourself to elongate your stance, adjust your stance. You want that front thigh bone parallel to the floor. Strong back leg. Back toes are at 45 degrees or parallel to the mat, best you can. And we'll just breathe here for 3, for 2, for 1. Good. And then slowly, slowly straighten the front leg. Heel toe that back foot in. Reach the hips back and come forward for your triangle pose. So the hand can come to the shin or a block or the floor. Wherever you are though, we're climbing the staircase of the chakras. So if you have your hand here, but the bottom side of your body is totally collapsed, maybe you want to take the hand on the shin instead and find length through both sides. So you can have that long line of energy, heel to crown of head. I'm even going to use a block. Glide the shoulders down and back. Feel your feet rooting into the earth like mud. Really fire up the legs so your thigh bones are engaged and kneecaps slightly lifted. And then just visualize a red ball of light right at your groin muscles, the bottom of the spine, your pelvis. And all your limbs are subtly hugging in towards that light. So your legs are scissoring towards one another and your arm bone is pressing back into your body. Good, super stable. Last breath. As you're ready, gently rebend the front knee. Come on up, warrior two. Reach forward to go back, reverse. And then exhale, cartwheel the arms down. Find that runner's lunge again. So you might need to heel toe the right foot to the right. Just send the heart forward, just a breath. And then exhale, step it back. Your choice, plank, chaturanga, elbows grazing the body. Or if you're level 1, just do cobra. Or you can just hold down dog, or you can take child's pose. We'll all meet downward facing dog. There's no rush. And your down dog, take a moment, again, visualizing your mat was red clay or mud to just kind of get yourself dirty in it again. So kind of pawing through the feet. Nice. And then as you're ready, you can just stroll to the top of the mat or jump, level 3. To the top of the mat, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. So we'll do that roll up again for those of you that maybe didn't get to fully experience it the first time. So how it works, feet hip width apart. I want you to take your hands behind your calves, widen the sits bones back. So press your calves into your hands and your hands into your calves, and then press your thigh bones back, widen your sits bones back. And then initiate your curl. So tailbone curls under, head is heavy, chin into chest. You're going to round up one vertebra at a time. Absolutely no rush. Head is the last thing to come up. Good. And then inhale. Reach the arms up. Exhale. Sink into your chair pose. Toes touch, heels apart. Good. Breathe in. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Get low. Get low, low, low. Curl your tailbone forward. Challenge yourself to get 3 inches lower. We're here for 3, for 2, for 1, This time, draw the right knee into the chest as you come to stand. So pull the right knee into the chest, press the right knee into the hands, get taller, relax the shoulders. And then tree pose, second side. You can place the right foot on the inside of the left thigh, or you can have the foot down on the floor or anywhere here. Just avoid putting it on the actual knee joint. That's kind of a danger zone. And then press sole of foot into thigh, inner thigh into sole of foot, get taller. Think of that red ball of energy here and lengthen your tailbone down. 3 breaths. Eyes closed or staring at a steady point in front of you. Hear your steady breath. 3 counts in, 3 counts out. Good. And then reach the arms up for the last breath, if that feels good. Awesome. And then draw the knee into the chest. Exhale, step back for your high lunge. Melt into that muddy earth, so adjust the feet. Yeah, get into your nice low lunge. Kick the right heel back. Reach the arms up. Front shin is parallel to the floor. Really challenge yourself. Inhale, get long, maybe arch back. Exhale, interlace the fingers. Make that fist and find that 45-degree line, heel to crown of head. We're here for 3. Send energy out the back heel. 2. And draw your belly off your front thigh bone. Last 1. Good. Really press the fist away, press the heel away, get longer. And then exhale, hands frame the foot. Step forward to the top of the mat. Feet hip width apart. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, melt. Curling the tailbone forward to melt, drawing forward from your core. Good. Take the feet wide now. Malasana, squat pose, second side. So once again, being on the block, making any modifications you need. You're still getting all the benefits of the pose, even when you modify it. I want you to press your elbows into your thighs. Wrap your thighs into your elbows. And see if you can feel, instead of the groin just kind of hanging out, this pulling up. So you can maybe widen the groin back and then curl the tailbone forward, really accessing that root energy, root chakra. Good. 3 breaths here. Hear your breathing. Slow 3 counts in through the nose, slow 3 counts out. Especially with this chakra, we're really looking for the pause at the top of the in-breath, pause at the bottom of the out-breath. We're not rushing. We're really grounding in. This is all about increasing our personal sense of security and safety. Good, and then exhale, hands underneath the shoulders. Step the right foot back in space. Time for our wide lunge. You'll take the right hand to the wood outside your mat. Left hand holds the left inner thigh. Spin it towards the ceiling, and then kick the right heel back. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then open left hand to the ceiling, perhaps. And just let the upper body fall back in space. Keep the legs super active so that back right heel is kicking away from you like crazy. And then you can play with lifting the seat, widening the sits bones, and then pulling your abs in, curling your tailbone forward. And from that, you might feel this ability to open the chest and spiral towards the ceiling even more. Maybe not, right? Especially if you're just new to yoga. These subtle cues are sometimes tricky to pick up on, but don't get discouraged. You'll feel them in time. Inhale, maybe lift the sits bones up. Exhale, curl the tailbone forward, draw the abs in, open the heart more. Last breath. Good. And then exhale, take the hands underneath the shoulders. You're gonna walk the hands to the back of the mat, right? So you'll face away from me. I'm gonna turn around, but you'll be in a forward fold, facing the back of the mat. So facing the opposite way we did before. Find a little inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Take a moment to just bring all your energy to your lower body here. So press big toe, little toe, heels into the mat. Pull up through the arches of your feet. Feel your legs super engaged, and then take hands to hips. Find a flat back. Tailbone to crown of head, get long. And then come on up. This time you'll turn your left toes forward to sink in for warrior two, remembering that the earth is clay and you can really adjust your stance. So make sure that your front heel is bisecting your back arch. You have a nice long stance that's really challenging you to get that thigh bone parallel to the floor. And close your eyes. Breathe here for 3, for 2. Just thinking of your legs energetically magnetizing towards one another muscularly, but also pressing the mat away in opposite directions. So they should just feel crazy engaged, like they're pulling up inside, outside, everywhere. Good, and then gently straighten the front leg. Heel toe the back foot forward, coming into your triangle pose. Bump the hips back, reach the left arm forward, and come into triangle. Make sure both sides of the body are long. Maybe pressing into a block, finding that little extra spiral of chest towards ceiling, and just hear your breath here. Think of this red ball of light lava energy kind of holding this whole pose together. So your legs from the ground are pulling energy up and in towards your pelvis, and your arm bones are kind of plugging back. Your shoulders are gliding down your back to send energy to that red midpoint in the center of the pelvis. Good, last breath. Nice, and then come back up to warrior two. Rebend the front knee. Good, reach the left arm forward to go back, reverse warrior. And then you'll cartwheel the hands down to frame the foot. So I'll meet you at the top of the mat because you'll be here, right? Cartwheel the hands down. Find that runner's lunge for a moment. Press the right heel back. Draw the heart forward. Breathe in. And then exhale, step it back. Down dog. Plank. Chaturanga. Or skip it. Your choice. We'll all meet downward facing dog. From here, rock forward to your plank pose. Just feel a moment of strength here. Inner and outer heel yearn back. Shoulder blades glide down your back. Draw the navel up and in. So think of that tailbone like a hook curling forward. We're here for 3. You got it. Last thing, 2. Good. Last one. Exhale. Take your knees to the floor. Walk the hands back. So you're going to sit on the heels. Look at your toes. Make sure even your little pinky toe is curled forward. This is toe stretch. So you're sitting on your toes. Just take the hands to prayer in front of the heart. Breathe in. Breathe out. Super intense stretch for the soles of the feet. So good for us. Just be present with your breath here. You think of your feet as these little receptors for how you ground into the earth, kind of like the very bottom roots of a tree that get really thin. You're opening all those little receptacles in your feet right now. Good. Last breath. Keeping your eyes closed and your attention in, come onto all fours. I want you to lean to the left and extend your legs long in front of you. So we have 2 options for our forward fold. Level 1, I want you to just keep the legs bent. Inhale, get long, and we'll fold forward. If you've been practicing for a long time, I'm going to invite you to take the right ankle behind you. So you come into this forward fold stance where you're nice and wide. And you could always play with this with a block. Same thing if you just want to sit on a block in general, even if you're just doing the first variation or a cushion, you're welcome to, right? This position lets us really feel those wide sits bones that we've been focused on as we bring our attention to this chakra. And we'll inhale, we'll reach the arms up wherever you are. If you have both legs forward and bent, that's also fine. You'll exhale, fold. From here, inhale, find length. Exhale, melt forward. Really think of your front thigh pressing into the mat. Cross at the wrists if you like to do that. So hold the big toe and pinky toe side of the foot with your hands. And then press The elbows wide to the left and right of the room. Keep fanning the sits bones back, grounding down through your seat. Final breath. And then gently press yourself up. Good. We'll take both legs long. Just take a moment, hands on the thighs, to just breathe in. Breathe out. And second side. So if you did the first variation, you'll take the left heel back. And my level 1 folks, if that's too much, this time just take butterfly, soles of feet to touch, and you'll just fold forward like this. So you have 2 really nice options. And wherever you are, up on a block, using props is always a good idea. We'll inhale, get long first. And we'll exhale, fold forward. Breathe in, find length. Exhale, fold and melt. Cross at the wrists if you did that on the other side. And just think of widening the sits bones towards the floor. So maybe you want to take the knee a little wider. For today's focus, totally cool to just think of the sits bones getting as far apart from one another as possible, widening back. And last breath, root the thigh bone down into the earth. Good, and then gently press yourself up. We'll all meet legs in front of us again, wherever you were, hands on thighs, just a breath in. Breathing out. Good. Scoot your seat forward just a touch. Take your soles of feet on the floor. Press down through your big toes. Reach your arms parallel to the floor and hinge back, lean back. From here, find that tailbone curling forward. So again, bring that ball of light, that red ball of light, really feel it in the groin, in the pelvis, and you're just going to roll down. And then using that light's energy, that power, slow descent till the head hits the ground. From here, you can just open the legs wide in a butterfly shape. Just feeling that opening in the low back. And as you're ready, you can either pull the knees into the chest. And you can stay there, or you can take happy baby if that feels good, holding pinky toe sides of the feet and rocking side to side. Just make it a really gentle rocking. And as you're ready, you'll just fall into Shavasana. And you can imagine yourself in the mud or in that red clay or in the grass if that's more appealing. And just conjure up some images of nature here. Seeing yourself in a garden or the beach or the dirt. Just any visual that feels super grounding for you. And just rest. Be supported by the floor. 10 breaths. Slowly wiggle fingers and toes. Draw one knee into the chest and then the other. Just give yourself a squeeze. You can roll over onto your right side. Use your left forearm as a pillow. Left hand to the mat. Right hand to the mat. Good. And then just gently press yourself up to a comfortable seat. As you're ready, there's no rush. Take the palms face down on the knees. Find a nice long spine. Visualize that red ball of light at the bottom of the spine. Bring your attention there. As you're ready, just bring the palms in front of the heart and press the palms together. And dip the chin. You can keep the eyes closed and your attention in. Take a huge deep breath in. Exhale all the way. Huge deep breath in. Exhale completely. And as you're ready, you can gently open your eyes, keeping your gaze soft, and you can say, Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Remember, you can follow this video up with my meditation for the first chakra. If you want to download these videos, get access to my chakra extended length practices, and get my personal feedback on your yoga poses, explore my members only community Uplifted completely for free at brettlarkin.com/uplifted. From my heart to yours, Namaste.